Hello, future warriors, and welcome to SSB Crack Exams. I'm Hemant, and I'm here back to discuss with you about the most important current affairs. Since long time we have not discussed the current affairs, so in this particular session, I will be discussing the complete current affairs in two different parts. So make sure that you're noting down every particular thing that is very important. I'm covering only the most important current affairs from the days of 1st of January 2021 all the way up towards the 3rd of February 2021. So these two are the most important dates, and everything that has happened in between these two dates I am covering off in these two sessions. So this will be the part 1, and make sure that you are even covering the part 2 also, which will be very helpful. So before beginning, as I always introduce you, that SSB Crack Exams is India's largest, most preferred online defense exams preparation portal. If in case you people are preparing for the upcoming defense examinations like NDA, CDS, AFCAT, INET, Territorial Army, Indian Air Force Airmen, Group X, Group Y, CAPF, Assistant Commandants examination, also for the Military Nursing Service or Army Cadet College entrance exams, you can please go through our website, or I highly recommend you to download the Android app from Google Play Store. There in which you can go through with that particular complete course content. You can subscribe yourself to your favorite course, wherein which we people are providing the complete important detailed lecture content, study material, sample practice questions, quizzes, exercises, and mock tests that are all made taking into consideration the latest exam patterns. You can even follow us on all sort of social media platforms to keep yourself updated with the most important Indian and international related inputs. So before starting these current affairs, let us go through the headlines. And the headlines for the current affairs from 1st of January 2021 to 3rd of February 2021 to the part 1, they include these. Let us now, we will discuss about the budget 2021 to 22, highlights of this particular budget that is provided by the finance minister Srimati Nirmala Sitharaman ji. Then we will go through and discuss about Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar Swasthya Bharat Yojana. Then Pradhan Mantri speaking to His Excellency Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel, regarding the attack on the Israeli embassy in New Delhi. Then comes last date for the submission of nomination for Nari Shakti Puraskar 2020 extended till 6th of February 2021. Prime Minister to inaugurate the Chauri Chaura centenary celebrations on 4th February 2021. Ministry of Ayush research collaborations with foreign countries. On World Wetlands Day, India getting its first Center for Wetland Conservation and Management. High-level Committee for Distribution and Administration of the COVID-19 vaccines. Union Education Minister addressing the inaugural ceremony of the ASEAN India Hackathon recently. Union Textiles Minister inaugurating the 8th India International Silk Fair on the virtual portal. Khelo India Zanskar Winter Sports and Youth Festival 2021 conclusion. Vice President inaugurated the National Tribal Festival Adi Mahotsav on February of 1st, 2021 at New Delhi. Agreement for financial support to the STARS project signed between DEA and World Bank. Thereafter, we will also discuss about the Prime Minister addressing the 125th anniversary celebrations of Prabuddha Bharata on 31st of January 2021. And then we will also go through in understanding the Ministry of Tourism dedicating 3 virtual pavilions in the virtually conducted Bharat Parv 2021 celebrations. Then comes Council of Scientific and Industrial Research CSIR celebrating 20 years of the India's traditional knowledge digital library, the first of its kind globally. Then we will also go through in the IBBI organizing a workshop on the Committee of Creditors and Institution of Public Trust. Then comes NCAVES India Forum 2021, National Marine Turtle Action Plan launching, Union Education Minister addressing the validatory function of the Kala Utsav 2020, Prime Minister addressing the World Economic Forum's Davos Dialogue on 28th of January, Prime Minister chairs the 35th Pragati Interaction, India signs strategic partnership agreement with International Energy Agency. Dr. Harshvardhan addressing the 4th edition of Future Investment Initiative Forum. Padma Awards 2021 list. Union Education Minister inaugurated Agri-Food Techathon at IIT Kharagpur. Then we will also go through an understanding about the Ayush Samvad campaign launched by the Ayush Ministry. Then comes veteran actor Bishwajit Chatterjee has been crowned as Indian Personality of the Year at India Film Festival of internationally on 51st closing ceremony. Thereafter, about 51st International Film Festival of India, we will discuss regarding the awards of that, and then we will also go through in the final one about the Prime Minister addressing at the Climate Adaptation Summit in 2021. So these are the most important headlines. So I hope that we will cover all of these headlines in this particular first part of this complete monthly current affairs of this particular most important session. So make sure that every particular thing will be very helpful for your upcoming examination congratulations if in case you are writing the exams in the month of March and February. Beginning off, and the first and foremost important update that we are covering for today is regarding the budget 2021 to 22 highlights. On February of 1st, Nirmala Sitharamanji, the finance minister of our country, has released and she has explained the budget, and this is the first ever digital union budget. That means for the first time, this budget was presented in a PowerPoint presentation in the parliament. It was very, very appreciable part, and she has given very beautiful inputs. And she's the Minister of Finance and Corporate Affairs, and she also stated that India's fight against COVID-19 continues into 2021 also, and that is the moment in history and when political, economic and strategic relations in the post-COVID world are as of now changing rapidly. And this is a very new dawn of era, one in which India is well poised to truly be the land of promise and hope. We are that particular country. We are trying to provide vaccines to all of the world, and we are also fighting the COVID-19 by even providing the largest vaccination drive across the whole country. So our country is posing a lot of challenges and threats, but still it is fighting each and every particular challenge and threat with a brave attitude. So let us now go through about what she has presented in the budget for this particular year. That means from 2021 to 22. What is she actually expecting, and what is our government trying to do in this upcoming time? Okay, so she has presented this budget in 6 pillars, sir. That means she has completely divided the whole budget into 6 different parts, and include health and well-being, physical and financial capital and infrastructure, inclusive development for aspirational India, reinvigorating human capital, innovation and research and development, minimum government and maximum governance. I repeat, all of these 6 pillars, they include health and well-being, physical and financial capital and infrastructure, inclusive development for aspirational India, reinvigorating human capital, innovation and research and development, and the last one is minimum government and maximum governance. She has proposed these 6 strategical plans, and the whole finance ministry is going through with this particular change, and all of these 6 pillars I will try to explain to you each and every particular pillar in very, very common and in a very proper way. I will try to discuss only the most important things and the cost estimates that are being presented in the budget estimates of 2021 to 22, and I will restrict myself in going through in very detail about what is happening in the other things. Only the most important things regarding the defense exams point of view, only those I'm covering. So make sure that you are noting down everything that I'm posing here. The first thing is regarding health and well-being. If we go through with that, around 2,23,846 crore of rupees have been outlaid in budget estimates, as against previously conducted 94,452 crore, as an increase of 137% regarding the health and well-being of the citizens of our country. That means regarding the estimates of that are given to the amount that is given to the health ministry in the previous year, in 2020 to 21, it was just around 94 change crores, but as of now that particular thing has completely indomitably increased up to 2,23,846 crore. You can see how much percent, it's like 137% increase of amount has been done in the case of the health sector, and around 35,000 crores are allocated for the COVID-19 vaccination drive. Around 64,180 crores are now going to be covered up for the next 6 years under the newly launching scheme, which is known as Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar Swasthya Bharat Yojana. This is a very, very new Yojana going to be set up very soon, and this has been announced by Nirmala Sitharamanji. And regarding this particular Yojana, around 64,180 crores are allocated. So remember, what is this Yojana, sir? It is Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar Swasthya Bharat Yojana. It is a new centrally sponsored scheme to be introduced in addition to the National Health Mission. Now I will give you a very brief understanding about the Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar Swasthya Bharat Yojana. And regarding this particular Yojana, one important national institution for One Health is going to be set up very soon. And under this particular Yojana, 17,788 rural and 11,024 urban health and wellness centers are going to be set up very soon. And under this particular one, 4 regional national institutes for virology are also going to be set up. 15 health emergency operation centers and 2 mobile hospitals are also going to be set up. and integrated public health labs in all the districts, and 3,382 block public health units in 11 states will be set up. Critical care hospital blocks in 602 districts and 12 central institutions are also going to be set up. That means you can see how huge amounts are going to be allocated regarding this Swasthya Bharat Yojana, and also strengthening the National Center for Disease Control NCDC and its 5 regional branches and 20 metropolitan health surveillance units. Expansion of the integrated health information portal to all the states and union territories to connect all public health laboratories. 17 new public health units and strengthening of 33 existing public health units. Regional research platform for World Health Organization Southeast Asia region. That means Southeast Asia region's WHO's platform is going to be also built up under our government's procedures, and 9 biosafety level 3 laboratories are also going to be set up very soon. That means around 64,000 change crores are going to be set up regarding this Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar Bharat Swasthya Bharat Yojana, and this is a very beautiful Yojana that was announced recently. Going through in detail regarding this particular one, we need to also understand that Mission Poshan 2 has also been launched under this Ministry of Health and Family Welfare, and is to be launched. This Mission Poshan is going to be strengthening the nutritional content delivery and outcome of our citizens of the country. Okay, and around 2,87,000 crores over 5 years are also allocated for the Jal Jeevan Mission Urban to be launched. This is going to be aiming to provide and connect around 2.86 crore household tap connections, and around 1,41,678 crores are also set up for the Urban Swachh Bharat Mission 2 for the next 5 years, and 2,217 crores are also set up for tackling air pollution and 42 urban centers with a million plus population. Now let us go through with the second most important pillar, that is physical and financial capital and infrastructure. Regarding the second pillar, around 1.97 lakh crores are set up in the next 5 years for production linked incentive scheme or PLI scheme in the next 13 sectors. 7 new mega investment textiles parks are also going to be set up under Mitra scheme, and they are going to be established over the next 3 years. National Infrastructure Pipeline NIP is expanded to 7,400 projects. 20,000 crore rupees are set up to capitalize a development financial institution to act as a provider, enabler and catalyst for infrastructure financing. Going through detail, 5.54 lakh rupees, crore rupees are also allocated for the capital expenditure, and this is a very sharp increase of 34.5% allocated in the budget expenditure. 1,18,101 lakh crores are also set up against our outlay for road transport and highways ministry, and under this 1,18,101, among all of this, like the huge amount around 1,08,230 crores are set up for capital only. Okay, so under 5.35 lakh crore, Bharat Mala Pariyojana is also going to be set up. More than 13,000 kilometers length of the roads are going to be constructed very soon. Okay, and going through in detail, 1,10,055 crores for railways, for which 1,07,100 crores are for the capital expenditure. National Rail Plan for India is going to be set up in the year of 2030 to create a future-ready railway system by 2030. That means what? By 2030, our country is aiming to create that particular railway system that is ready for all the future updates, and it is completely electrified and standardized, wherein which our country will be completely neat and clean. Right, and around 18,000 crore rupees are set up for the new scheme to augment public bus transport. 3 lakh crore rupees are also set up for over 5 years for revamping and reforming based result linked new proper power distribution sector scheme. Right, going through a comprehensive national hydrogen energy mission 2021 to 22 will be launched very soon. That means what? National Hydrogen Energy Mission NHKM is going to be launched very soon. Extension of Ujjwala scheme, that means giving and providing the gas facilities to the deprived and financially deprived communities, to over 1 crore more beneficiaries are also going to be set up. A single securities market code is also going to be evolved. Increasing permissible foreign direct direct investment limit from 49% to 74% and allow foreign ownership in our country, and to decriminalize the Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008. I will tell you about Limited Liability Partnership Act 2008 in the upcoming sections, so make sure that you are understanding about whatever I'm providing it here. Right, let us now go through in detail regarding the next third important pillar regarding this particular one, inclusive development for aspirational India. Here Nirmala ji has mentioned about some important schemes that are providing proper updates to the citizens of our country, which are directly developmental policies of our country, which include ensuring the minimum support price of farmers at minimum 1.5 times the cost of production across all communities. That means the first and foremost point itself, she's addressing the farmers who are agitating regarding the farm bills across the country. So she has provided the proper ensuring, and she has mentioned that every farmer will be provided a minimum of around 1.5 times the cost of production, and this is a very, very beautiful one that we can consider going through. Swamitwa scheme is also going to be extended to all the states. Rural infrastructure development fund is going to be enhanced from previously in the last year it was only 30,000 crore, and now it is expanded to 40,000 crore, and this is going to double the micro irrigation fund to 10,000 crores. Operation Green scheme is going to be extended over 22 perishable products. Going through in detail regarding this one, 5 major fishing harbors are going to be developed and recreated very soon, which will be included at Kochi, Chennai, Visakhapatnam, Paradeep and Pettua Ghat. These are going to be developed as a hubs of economic activity. That means here these fishing harbors and hubs, these are not only intended for the naval orientation and the harboring and shipping purposes, and she has intended to provide a beautiful outlook to convert these into economic harbors also. And a multi-purpose seaweed park is also going to be set up at Tamil Nadu to provide and promote the seaweed cultivation, and 15,700 crores are allocated for the budget only towards the micro, small and medium enterprises. Going through in detail regarding this particular one, we have to understand with the next most important pillar, which including reinvigorating the human capital. That means providing proper updates and providing proper inputs towards the citizen of our country, wherein which he will directly connect it towards the development of our country. Okay, and under this particular one, around 15,000 schools are going to be set up very soon under the National Education Policy or National Education Program, and these schools are going to be trained in such a way so that these schools will be setting up a proper example on how to run a proper school to the all other schools that are around them. Okay, and 100 new Sainik schools are also going to be set up in partnership with the NGOs and private schools of the states. Legislation is going to be introduced to set up Higher Education Commission of India, also known as HECI. We have also learnt regarding this in the previous defense update. So this particular important education will be acting as an umbrella body with 4 separate vehicles for standard setting, accreditation, regulation and funding. As of now, we have different types of organizations of our country that are kind of accrediting our institutions that are there across the country, but as of now the HECI will be the one single authorizing authority very soon. Going through, a central university is going to be set up in Leh, which will be helpful in providing proper education towards the people who are studying in Leh. Then comes 750 Eklavya model residential schools are also going to be set up in the tribal areas, and they are also going to revamp the post-matric scholarship scheme for the welfare of the scheduled caste communities of our country. Going through with the next most important pillar is regarding innovation and R&D sector. Regarding that, 50,000 crore rupees are given towards the National Research Foundation to continue the research and make our nation proud very soon. A new satellite known as PSLV CS51 is going to be launched by the New Space India Limited, which is a private company, and this is carrying a Brazil's Amazonia satellite along with the Indian satellites regarding this particular one, and budget has been allocated for this particular new launch vehicle too. Regarding this particular one, going through with the next one is regarding 4,000 crore rupees are also provided towards a deep ocean mission survey and exploration and the conservation of the deep sea biodiversity. Most of this amount will be going through towards those areas which might include the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep Islands and all. Okay, going through regarding the next one is the final update and is the final pillar regarding this minimum government and maximum governance. This particular one clearly indicates that government will interfere small way, but the governance will be extremely huge. Okay, so this is a very strategic one. So regarding this particular one, a National Commission for Allied Healthcare Professionals is already introduced to ensure transparent and efficient regulation of 56 allied healthcare professions. The National Nursing and Midwifery Commission Bill is also going to be introduced, and also 33,768 crore rupees are allocated for the first digital census in the history of India. Right, so these are the most important 6 pillars. If I have to completely sum up regarding the correct deficit statistics, then around regarding 2021 to 22, it is estimated that the fiscal deficit will be 1,50,000 15,06,812 crore rupees, and regarding the revenue deficit, it will be 11,40,576 crores, and regarding effective revenue deficit, it will be around 9,21,464 crores, and primary deficit will be 6,97,111 crores. Going through in detail regarding the expenditure of the government of India. That means where is our government trying to put its most of the amount in the upcoming years. Regarding that particular one, it has said that regarding establishment expenditure, it will be around 6,09,014 crores, and 10,51,703 crores are going to be set up for the central sector schemes and the projects. And other than the central sector schemes expenditure and all, it will be allocated around 10,11,887 crores. And there are also transfers amounts that are mentioned. You can pause this particular section. You can look after this whole table that you can see. If I have to give a proper complete understanding regarding the total receipts and the share of the taxes and the duties as per the budget estimate of 2021 to 22, the maximum one will be going through towards the borrowings and other liabilities. But if you have to go through the taxes, the maximum tax will be taken from goods and services one, it will be 15%. Then going through the next highest will be the income tax, which is 14%. Corporation tax will be 13%, and union excise duties will be 8%, customs will be 3%, non-tax revenue 6%, and non-debt capital receipts will be 5%. If you have to go through in detail regarding the total expenditure, as I was discussing, as per the budget estimates of 2021 to 22, the maximum one will be going through towards the interest payments, which will be 20%. Then the second maximum will be the state's share of the taxes and duties, which will be around 16%. The next highest will be directly the central sector schemes, which are 13%. And then if we go through in detail, it will be the finance commission and other transfers of 10%, other expenditure of 10%, pensions of 5%, subsidies 9%, defense 8%, and centrally sponsored schemes are 9%. So that is what we are trying to say regarding the total expenditure as per the budget estimates of 2021 to 22. I hope that everything regarding this is completely covered. If in case you have any other doubts or queries regarding the budget estimates of 2021 to 22, you can please ask in the comment section, or also you can ask in the discussion box. If in case you have already downloaded the Android app, in the discussion box, I will personally ask and solve all your queries regarding that. Right, now let us go through with the next most important update, and this update is regarding our Prime Minister speaking with His Excellency Benjamin Netanyahu, Prime Minister of Israel, on phone. Both of them have discussed, and recently Israel has had a terror attack near the Israeli embassy in New Delhi regarding that in New Delhi. So going through with this particular one, Prime Minister has assured the Benjamin Netanyahu that whoever is responsible regarding this act will be punished very soon. So Israeli embassy was attacked in New Delhi on 29th of January 2021. So regarding this, Prime Minister was extremely angry, and he has taken this matter very seriously, and he assured the Israeli Prime Minister that India accords highest importance to the safety and security of Israeli diplomats and premises, and would deploy all its resources to find and punish the perpetrators. Going through the next update is regarding the last date for the submission of the nomination of the Nari Shakti Puraskar 2020 has been extended all the way up towards the 6th of February 2021. So Nari Shakti Puraskar are awarded on the International Women's Day on 8th of March every year, and these are awarded by the Ministry of Women and Child Development, sir. Okay, who will award this particular one, sir? Nari Shakti Puraskar is awarded by the Ministry of Women and Child Development for recognizing exceptional work done by individuals, etc., in the area of the employment of women, right? So these awards are directly presented by President of India under the aegis of the Ministry of Women and Child Development, and as per the guidelines, any individual of at least 25 years of age and institutions having worked in the relevant field for at least 5 years are eligible to apply for the Nari Shakti Puraskar, right? Going through with the next most important update is regarding Pradhan Mantri inaugurating the Chauri Chaura centenary celebrations on 4th of February. That means tomorrow. That means tomorrow is the centenary celebrations of the Chauri Chora incident that was very, very important regarding the Indian history. And tomorrow marks 100 years of the Chauri Chora incident, a landmark event in the country's fight for the independence. Pradhan Mantri will also release a postal stamp dedicated to the Chauri Chora centenary, and Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh will also be present on the occasion. The centenary celebrations and various events are planned by the state government of Uttar Pradesh. They will begin in all 75 districts of the Uttar Pradesh state from tomorrow and will continue all the way up towards the 4th of February 2022. That means whole 1 year these celebrations will be continuing. Mention in the comment section in very briefly about what is actually the Chauri Chora incident. People will be very happy to know because it's a very new incident regarding that, right? Now going through with the next update is regarding Ministry of Ayush has various research collaborations with the foreign countries. When asked in the parliament session regarding this, Ayush Ministry's minister has mentioned in a written reply regarding this particular one, and as of now he has very clearly mentioned that Ministry of Ayush has signed around 25 country to country memorandums of understandings for the cooperation in the field of traditional medicine and homeopathy, sir. Okay, around 23 MOUs of these are for undertaking collaborative research in Ayush systems of medicine, and these countries are also signed with various foreign universities in various countries which include Germany, United Kingdom, Canada, Geneva, United States, Argentina, Israel, Brazil, Australia, Austria, Tajikistan and Ecuador. So many other countries are also included regarding this particular collaborations, and Ayush Ministry is moving forward in creating and collaborating and providing a proper update and a proper system to our country in providing and reinstitutionalizing Ayush and Ayurvedic and homeopathic medicines in our country. Going through with the next update is regarding on World Wetlands Day. India has got its first Center for Wetland Conservation and Management. So this declaration was made very recently on 2nd of February, sir. Okay, so on 2nd of February 2021, this particular declaration was made, and on 2nd of February, the whole world is celebrating the World Wetlands Day. And why is only 2nd of February, sir? Long back on 2nd of February 1971, and Ramsar in Iran has celebrated annually as the World Wetlands Day, and it was taken into consideration by the international organizations. And as of now, India has nearly 4.6% of its land as wetlands, covering an area of 15.26 million hectares, and has 42 Ramsar sites designated as wetlands of international importance. Okay, wetlands of international importance are called as what? Ramsar sites, sir. And what are those sites, sir? They include Hokarsar of Jammu and Kashmir, Sukna in Chandigarh, Dhanauri in Noida, Deepor in Assam, Chilka in Odisha, Bondwali in Goa, and you can given various other 5 most important wetlands of international importance. So they are known as Ramsar sites with a surface area of around 1.08 million hectares. So regarding this particular one, the government has released a very, very important update to establish and set up a center for the wetland conservation and management. Going through the next important update is regarding a high-level committee has been set up for the distribution and administration of the COVID-19 vaccines. And regarding this particular one, this particular high-level committee is known as what, sir? It is known as NIGVAC. We have to expand this whole term as National Expert Group on Vaccine Administration for COVID-19. What is this, sir? National Expert Group for Vaccine Administration for COVID-19. Okay, so this is NIGVAC. So this complete group is known as a very, very high level committee. They will be looking after the distribution of the COVID-19 vaccines across our country, and this particular NIGVAC group is chaired by the member of Health and Niti Aayog and co-chaired by the Secretary of Health and Family Welfare. NIGVAC has representation of secretaries from Ministry of External Affairs, Department of Expenditure, Department of Biotechnology, Department of Health Research, Department of Pharmaceutical, Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, and also representatives from the 5 state governments and technical experts. Right. Going through with the next update is regarding Union Education Minister Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has addressed the inaugural ceremony of the ASEAN India Hackathon. So regarding this hackathon, he has provided a unique opportunity, and this ASEAN India Hackathon is that particular hackathon where ASEAN countries are only participating. Mention in the comment section what are the ASEAN countries. So this is very, very important one that we need to remember. So Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank has provided a unique opportunity to solve the common identified challenges under 2 broad themes of blue economy and education. Okay, so these are the 2 most important topics that he has proposed regarding this ASEAN India Hackathon. And this hackathon will be enactment of 6 fundamental virtues of our civilization, and these hackathons will be dealing upon the respect, dialogue, cooperation, peace, prosperity and innovation. Let us now go through with the next update, and that is regarding Union Textiles Minister Srimati Smriti Zubain Irani has inaugurated the 8th India International Silk Fair on a virtual portal. So this India International Silk Fair is the largest and India's biggest fair, and this is being held under one roof on Indian Silk Export Promotion Council's virtual platform on 31st of January all the way up towards 4th of February. That means today also it is going on. You can go through and check through its website. So tomorrow it will be the last day regarding this particular most important portal regarding this particular one. So this fair is very important one. It is organized by the Indian Silk Export Promotion Council under the aegis of Ministry of Textiles and sponsored by the Department of Commerce. India has long history of silk production, and India is the second largest producer of silk in the whole world, and India is the only country in the world which produces all the four major varieties of silk, which include mulberry, eri, tassar and muga. Right, going through with the next update is regarding Khelo India Zanskar Winter Sports and Youth Festival 2021 has been concluded, and this is the 13-day long festival. It was conducted from 8th of January 2021 all the way up towards 30th of January 2021. So these are the Zanskar Winter Sports Game, Khelo India Games that were conducted very recently, and very beautifully these were conducted, and a youth festival was also conducted at the Zanskar Valley in Ladakh. So this festival, first of its kind, was organized by the Department of Sports and Youth Affairs under the administratorship of the Shri Kiren Rijiju, the Youth Affairs Minister of our country, under the Khelo India banner in collaboration with Ladakh Tourism Department. Union Sports Ministry aims to promote Ladakh and establish a ice hockey and also open a center for archery and polo in the two areas in the region. Right, going through with the next update is regarding Vice President inaugurating the National Tribal Festival known as Adi Mahotsav on February of 1st, 2021 at New Delhi. So this is organized by the TriFed of the Ministry of Tribal Affairs. So this Adi Mahotsav is what, sir? It is a celebration of the spirit of tribal culture, crafts, cuisine and commerce. That means what? In this particular festival, people will be observing about the importance of the tribal India, and they will go through in inaugurating and successively going through and initiating various processes regarding the completely providing and protecting the tribal communities of our country. So this is an annual initiative that was started long back in 2017, and recently on 2021 in February 1st we have also conducted this particular one very recently, and this festival was an attempt to familiarize the people with the rich and diverse craft culture of the tribal communities across the country in one place. And how many percent of our population is tribal, sir? Of the whole of India's population, only 8% is considered to be a tribal population. Going through with the next update is regarding the agreement for the financial support to STARS project has been signed between DEA and World Bank. So Department of Education Affairs and also with the World Bank has signed together regarding the promoting and supporting financially regarding the STARS project. Now what is STARS project, sir? It is known as Strengthening Teaching, Learning and Results for the States. Okay, so under this particular project what they will do is they will try to implement proper educational strategies. They will try to provide training for the teachers and also for the students, and they will try to establish proper education in our country. Right, as this project's cost is concerned, it will be around 5,718 crore project it is. So among this 5,718 crore, 3,700 crores are provided by the World Bank. Okay, so from this 5,718 crore rupees that is the total cost of the STARS project, around 3,700 crore is provided by the World Bank, and the remaining ones are coming from the state share from the participating states over a period of 5 years. So what will this project do, sir? It will be implemented under the Department of School Education and Literacy, DOSAL, and which is working under the Ministry of Education, and it covers 6 states which include Himachal Pradesh, Rajasthan, Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala and Odisha. The next update is regarding the Pradhan Mantri addressing the 125th anniversary celebrations of the Prabuddha Bharata on 31st of January 2021. What is Prabuddha Bharata, sir? Prabuddha Bharata is an monthly journal. It is released by the Advaita Ashrama of Mayavati. Okay, it is released by whom, sir? It is released by Advaita Ashrama. So this particular, why is this journal very important, sir? It was for the first time started by Swami Vivekananda long back in 1896. Okay, so this journal will be working coming under the Ramakrishna order. So those candidates who are familiar with the Ramakrishna mission and all, and who are actually directly or indirectly still being a part of Ramakrishna mission, Ramakrishna mats all across the country, are very happy. I'm very happy for you, because you people have to maintain constantly going through with that, and it will always help you in providing a proper personality development, in providing the future strong leaders to our country, right? Prabuddha Bharata has been an important medium for spreading the message of India's ancient spiritual wisdom and all. So regarding this particular one, the publication of the Prabuddha Bharata was first time started from Chennai long back when it was called as Madras. So later on it continued to be published for 2 years, after which it was published from Almora. Later in April 1899, the publication of this journal is shifted to Advaita Ashrama, and it has been continuously published from there since then. Now, why is this journal very important, sir? Various organizations are providing lot of journals. So why is only this particular journal very important, and why is a specific exams telling this particular answer? The main reason is because it is this particular journal wherein which important personalities like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Sister Nivedita, Sri Aurobindo, former President Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan, and various other strong and great dignitaries of our country have provided a lot of articles. Okay, so that is the reason why this journal is considered to be very famous one. And amongst the greatest personalities, they have left their imprint on the pages of Prabuddha Bharata through their writings on Indian culture, spirituality, philosophy, history, psychology, art, and other social issues. Advaita Ashrama is also working towards making the entire Prabuddha Bharata archive available online through its website. So that's it regarding this section. Going through with the next important update is regarding the Ministry of Tourism dedicating 3 virtual pavilions in the Bharat Parv 2021. Bharat Parv is considered, as of now, this is being released and online on virtual mode itself. So it is conducted from 26th of January 2021 all the way up towards 31st of January 2021. It was conducted in an online mode because of the pandemic situation, and 3 pavilions were dedicated by the Ministry of Tourism. And among these 3 important pavilions, they include Statue of Unity Pavilion, Dekho Apna Desh Campaign Pavilion, and Incredible India Pavilion. Statue of Unity Pavilion will be exhibiting the idea of Ek Bharat, Shreshth Bharat, which is a very important point to be noted. And second pavilion, known as Dekho Apna Desh Campaign, this campaign has been launched and to promote the people, to tell each and every particular person, you who is watching this particular video, every particular citizen of this country, to go through and have a complete ideology of our country. And this particular campaign is to provide domestic tourism and to increase the flow of the domestic travelers. That means what? People as of now has been sitting in their homes itself. Please go through and check. Maintain all the COVID-19 norms, wear mask, maintain distances, and go through to other places and watch the tourist places and gain knowledge. Our country is rich in art and culture, and every particular person has to go through. So regarding that, to promote the domestic tourism in our country, Dekho Apna Desh campaign has been launched by the Ministry of Tourism. And the third important virtual pavilion is what? It is the Incredible India Pavilion. So this pavilion will be comprising information on UNESCO World Heritage Sites. Okay, so the moment you finish going through with this particular complete session, you can go through www.bharatparv2021.com and watch all of these things and make yourself updated with the most important issues, right? Going through with the next one is regarding the Council of the Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR, celebrating 20 years of its India's Traditional Knowledge Digital Laboratory, or TKDL's first of its kind laboratories. 20 years has been completed. So regarding what is this particular Traditional Knowledge Laboratory, sir, library, sir? So regarding this particular one, a campaign was launched recently as far as the CSIR's TKDL, it completing 2 decades of the safeguarding India's traditional knowledge. That means what? Under this particular library, what happened is our all traditional and ancient knowledge that was given by our foremost luminaries and all the other previous scientists, mathematicians, philosophers, scholars, and all of them are recorded and kept together at one particular place, and that is what it is, the CSIR's India's Traditional Knowledge Digital Library. So this library will be commemorating 2 decades journey, and a webinar was also organized regarding this particular one, and the name of the webinar was 2 decades of TKDL connecting to the future, right? Going through with the next update is regarding the next one is Insolvency and Bankruptcy Board of India or IBBI organized a workshop on Committee of Creditors and Institution of Public Trust. So regarding this particular one-day virtual workshop, it has been also organized jointly with State Bank of India and Indian Banks Association. So this is a fifth such workshop. It is a series of the benefit of the financial creditors who comprise Committee of Creditors under the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code 2016. The main aim of this workshop was to it is to develop a better understanding of the role and expectations from the Committee of Creditors of our country. The next update is regarding NCAVES India Forum 2021 was organized recently. The full form of NCAVES is Natural Capital Accounting and Valuation of the Ecosystem Services of India. I repeat, Natural Capital Accounting and Valuation of the Ecosystem Services, which is completely full formed, and it is completely kept in an abbreviation as NCAVES. So this is a particular important forum. It was organized by whom, sir? It was organized by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Okay, it is organized by the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation in a virtual format with live sessions being conducted in 3 days on January 14th, January 21 and January 28th. And this event covered a wide range of topics pertaining to the system of environmental economic accounting. Right? This event also witnessed enormous participation from all over the globe. People from Europe, America, Russia, Australia have also participated in this particular webinar. And this web portal has developed for the forum has about 150 resources on environmental accounting, including regular data series and research publications. And going through the next update is regarding the National Marine Turtle Action Plan has been launched recently by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. So it has also launched the Marine Megafauna Stranding Guidelines along with this particular National Marine Turtle Action Plan that has been launched in New Delhi. Regarding this particular one, regarding the Marine Megafauna Stranding Guidelines, under that particular guidelines launched by the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, it has said that from the colorful fish, sharks, including whale sharks, turtles and big mammals like whales, dolphins and dugongs to bright corals, marine habitats not only harbor diverse species but also provide resources essential to the human well-being. It is extremely important for each and every particular citizen of this country to protect the wildlife habitat and especially the marine habitat, because they provide excessive amount of oxygen and they are also responsible in providing and keeping up the oxygen levels in the atmosphere, because it is the oceans that are responsible in conversion of the carbon dioxide oxygen atmosphere also in the global level. We need to also understand that the documents have been launched, they contain ways and concerns, and they also contain the means to promote the intersectoral action for the conservation. That means what, sir? All the other different kinds of sectors or national one, international one, they will all be considered together in providing an intersectoral conservation. That means they will all work together in maintaining and protecting the marine wildlife conservation of our country. Going through with the next update is regarding the Union Education Minister has addressed the valedictory function of the Kala Utsav 2020. It was organized on from 11th to 22nd of January 2021, and this particular one, in this particular Union Education Minister, he has appreciated the introduction of indigenous toys and games segment in Kala Utsav, and he also emphasized that this promotes vocal for local. Students who are actually indulging in any form of art use their imagination and try to realize it and give it life, thus by turning it to reality. So Kala Utsav gives an opportunity to this process. What is this particular Kala Utsav, sir? Like every particular student of this country, any student, let it be school student or any particular college student, he can participate in this Kala Utsav, sir. Okay. So what happened regarding this particular one about the Kala Utsav? So it was actually launched on 10th of January 2021 through a digital platform, and a total of 35 teams have participated from different states, union territories, Kendriya Vidyalaya, Navodaya Vidyalaya Samiti schools, and around 576 students have demonstrated their talent. And there were various segments in this particular Kala Utsav 2021 where people from all over the country participated. They include a total of 9 art forms, namely classical singing, traditional folk songs, classical instruments, traditional or folk instruments, classical dance, folk dance, visual arts or 2-dimensional, visual arts 3-dimensional, and local games or toys. It is this particular 9 segment that made Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, the education minister of our country, feel happy regarding this addition of this new segment, right? Going through with the next most important update is regarding Prime Minister addressing the World Economic Forum's Davos dialogue on 28th of January 2021. So Davos is a very, very important place in Switzerland, and this particular dialogue, it aims to provide and it marks the launch of the World Economic Forum's Great Reset initiative post the COVID world. So regarding this particular one, people all over the country have participated in this particular dialogue, and over more than 400 top industry leaders across the globe have attended this particular one. And our Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi ji has spoken up upon the fourth industrial revolution using the technology for the good of humanity, right? He also interacted with the CEOs during the event. Let us now go through with the next update, and this is regarding the Pradhan Mantri chairing the 35th Pragati interaction. Pragati is what it is: proactive governance and timely implementation. Okay, so it is the proactive governments and timely implementation. So it is Pragati. So it is a very, very important interaction. So it is the 35th edition of this particular one. It is an ICT-based multimodal platform. It involves central and state governments, and all of this was chaired by our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji. He has answered all the questions that are asked by the states and union territories, and he also reviewed the Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana regarding this issue. In this particular meeting, 10 agenda items were taken for review, including 9 projects from the 10 states and 1 program. What is this one program? It is this particular one, PMBJAP, which is Pradhan Mantri Bharatiya Jan Aushadhi Pariyojana. Going through with the next important one is regarding India signing a strategic partnership agreement with the International Energy Agency. India is going to become a very crucial member in the International Energy Agency, which will become our country also a very, very crucial part in providing energy towards the global nations. Signed on 27th of January 2021, this partnership will lead to an extensive exchange of knowledge, and it will also be a stepping stone towards India becoming a full member of the International Energy Agency. And what are the main points under this particular strategic partnership agreement, sir? Under this particular content, they include jointly decided by IEA members and India. They include building on existing areas of work within association, and also the clean energy transition program. Let us now go through with the next important update, and the next update is regarding Dr. Harshvardhan, who is the health minister of our country, has addressed the 4th edition of the Future Investment Initiative Forum. And regarding this particular one, the main purpose of this forum is being hosted in Riyadh in Saudi Arabia. It was to find the solutions on how business and government can expand access to healthcare, train healthcare workers, remove regulatory barriers, and encourage investment in advanced health technologies. A Covishield that is developed by our country, it is also going to be supplied to Saudi Arabia, and this was addressed regarding this Future Investment Initiative Forum. And he has also said that we are improving not only ease of doing business, but also the ease of living. The next update is regarding the Padma Awards of 2021. Regarding this particular one, Padma Vibhushan has been awarded to 7 people, and Padma Bhushan was awarded to around 10 people, and Padma Shri was awarded to around 106 people across our country. Regarding Padma Vibhushan, the main persons include Shinzo Abe, who is the former Prime Minister of Japan. Then comes SP Balasubramaniam, who is a very famous singer, who is a Carnatic singer, and also a very famous singer of the states of Karnataka. He sings around a lot of languages in Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Kannada, and a lot of the languages. He also sung in Hindi. So he has awarded the Padma Vibhushan from the state of Tamil Nadu. He is a very famous singer, and a lot of the people of our country are fans of him. And he has unfortunately passed away last year because of the COVID-19 virus. So he was being awarded the Padma Vibhushan in the Republic Day by the President of India. Then comes Dr. Belle Monappa Hegde from Karnataka. Then comes Narinder Singh Kapni, who is an American Indian scientist. He has also awarded in the field of science and engineering the Padma Vibhushan. Then comes Maulana Wahiduddin Khan, who is a very famous spiritualism, who taught and promote peace and stability in all the country, and he is also a very famous Islamic preacher and scholar. Going through BB Lal from Delhi, he has been awarded in the field of archaeology. Then comes Sudarshan Sahu, who has been awarded in the state of Odisha. Right. Going through with the next important one is regarding Padma Bhushan. And regarding Padma Bhushan in the field of art, only one person was awarded, and she is Krishna Nair Shantakumari Chitra. Then comes Tarun Gugoi, who has also been awarded posthumously regarding public affairs. Then comes Chandrasekhar Kambara from Karnataka, Sumitra Mahajan from Madhya Pradesh, Nripendra Mishra from Uttar Pradesh, Ram Vilas Paswan posthumously from Bihar. Keshubhai Patel posthumously from Gujarat, Kalbe Sadiq posthumously from Uttar Pradesh is also a spiritualist. Then comes Rajnikant Devidas Shroff in the field of trade and industry from Maharashtra, and then comes Tarlochan Singh in the field of public affairs from Haryana. These are the 10 people who were awarded Padma Bhushan by the government of India in the hands of the President of India. Going through regarding the next one is regarding Union Education Minister inaugurating the Agri Food Techathon at IIT Kharagpur recently, and in IIT Kharagpur Agri Food Techathon was conducted. So regarding this particular one, he has laid the foundation stone for Agri Business Incubation Center. Okay, so ABIC, this will incubate innovative ideas in the field of agriculture and food technology domain for creating agripreneurs. That means what? Agricultural entrepreneurs. Okay, so such initiatives will help in vocal for local and local for global initiative to each corner of our country. Going through the next update is regarding the Ayush Samvad campaign that was launched by the Ministry of Ayush, and Ayush Samvad, which is also termed as My Health, My Responsibility. It is the largest public awareness campaign programs launched by the Ayurveda regarding Ayurveda and COVID-19 pandemic. It is organized by All India Institute of Ayurveda, which is located in New Delhi, and it has envisioned and supported by the Ministry of Ayush. It has more than 5 lakh lectures will be organized across the nation by Ayurveda physicians and for the citizens of our country. This campaign will monitor through state Ayush directors and NAM team. The report and documentation regarding this particular one will be given in the month of May 2021. The next update is regarding veteran actor Bishwajit Chatterjee has been crowned as Indian Personality of the Year at International Film Festival of India 51st closing ceremony, and is awarded as the Indian Personality of the Year. And this award was announced by the Union Minister for Information and Broadcasting, and it was presented by Shri Prakash Javadekar ji at the opening ceremony on it was actually declared on opening ceremony on January of 16, but it was awarded on January of 24th on the closing ceremony day. So Bishwajit Chatterjee ji is a famous Bollywood actor. He is known for his roles of Kumar Vijay Singh in 20 Saal Baad, Raja Amit Kumar Singh in musical drama Kohra, and Ashok in romantic film April Fool, and various other films also he has done. And he has also produced a film in 1975, and he has also directed that film. That film is Kehte Hai Mujhko Raja. And regarding that particular film, apart from all of this acting and direction, he has also been a singer and producer. So he was awarded as the Indian Personality of the Year. So who's he, sir? Is Bishwajit Chatterjee. Going through the next update is about the 51st International Film Festival of India. It was conducted very recently at the city of Goa. Okay, where was it conducted, sir? It was conducted in Goa. And regarding the awards that were presented, the Golden Peacock Best Film Award has been gone to a film known as Into the Darkness, and Silver Peacock Award for the Best Director is awarded to Chen Nain-ko for the Taiwanese film Silent Forest. Then comes IFI Best Director Award Male has been awarded to Su Xuan Liu for his film Silent Forest. And then comes IFI Best Director Award Female category goes to Zofia Staffiage for I Never Cry movie. Then comes Special Jury Award was awarded to the film February, which was made by Carmen Kalev. Then comes Best Debut Director to Valentina by Casio Pereira dos Santos. Lifetime Achievement Award was given to Vittorio Storaro. Then comes Jury Special Mention Award was given to Kripal Kalita for the film Bridge. And ICFT UNESCO Gandhi Medal was awarded to the 200 meters movie given by the Amin Naife. These are the most important awards. So those candidates who are preparing for the upcoming AFCAT exam, for them these awards are very, very important, right? And these awards might be asked in the upcoming CDS and NDE exams also. So make sure that you are noting down information regarding this. Going through the next important update is regarding Prime Minister has spoken up at the Climate Adaptation Summit 2021, and this summit was hosted by him, and it was hosted on 25th of January 2021, and he has stated regarding this as India is promoting LED lights and is saving 38 million tons of carbon dioxide emissions annually. And during this particular Climate Adaptation Summit 2021's address, he has also said that India is going to restore 26 million hectares of degraded land by 2030. Okay, so all the degraded land is going to be again restored very, very soon regarding this particular Climate Adaptation Summit 2021. So that is it regarding all of these most important current affairs that I want to discuss in this particular first part. And now let us have a very quick review by going through some of the most important questions of all the topics we have discussed in this particular part. And the first and foremost question is, the first ever digital union budget was presented in which year? Okay, is it in 2012 or 2013 or 2020 or 2021? The correct answer is option D, 2021. So in February of 1st, 2021, our first ever digital union budget was presented by Nirmala Sitharaman ji. Going through with the next question is, which among these is not a plan of action under Pradhan Mantri Atmanirbhar Swasthya Bharat Yojana recently declared in the speech of union budget? Okay, so which among these is not a part? The first point says that 17,788 rural and 11,024 urban health and wellness centers and 4 regional national institutes of virology are going to be set up. 15 health emergency occupation centers and 2 mobile hospitals are going to be set up. And option D says that integrated public health labs are going to be destroyed and newly reconstructed very soon. So which among these is not a part, which is not at all mentioned in the union budget speech? Okay, so the correct answer is option D. It is not at all mentioned that public health labs are going to be destroyed. In fact, it has mentioned that the existing public health labs will be remodified and new public health labs will be set up very, very soon, right? So nothing is going to be destroyed. Going through with the next question is, multi-purpose seaweed park is going to be set up in which state to promote the seaweed cultivation? Is it in Andhra Pradesh, Odisha or Gujarat or Tamil Nadu? So the multi-purpose seaweed park is going to be set up in Tamil Nadu very soon. The next question is, Nari Shakti Puraskar are conferred every year on International Women's Day. That is on what? Okay, International Women's Day is conducted on 8th of March. So on 8th of March, Nari Shakti Puraskars will be given. Going through with the next update is regarding under the total receipts and share of taxes and duties as per the budget estimates 2021 to 22, which tax has the largest share? Okay, is it option A, income tax, or goods and services tax, or corporation tax, or union excise duties? The correct answer is option B, goods and services tax. Okay, so regarding this particular one, it covers around 15% of the total share, so it is the largest that we can see. As of now, Ministry of Ayush has signed 25 country-to-country memorandums of understandings for cooperation in the field of what? Is it option A, traditional medicine, or option B, homeopathy, or both traditional medicine and homeopathy, or neither both of them? The correct answer is option C, both A and B. Going through with the next question, World Wetlands Day is celebrated on what? Okay, is it celebrated on 2nd February or 3rd or 4th or 5th of February? The correct answer is it is celebrated on 2nd of February every year. Going through with the next question, Prabuddha Bharata has been an important medium for spreading the message of India's ancient spiritual wisdom. So it was first started by which prominent figure? Is it started by Swami Dayananda Saraswati or Raja Ram Mohan Roy or Swami Vivekananda or Mahatma Gandhi? So Prabuddha Bharata, it was started by option C, Swami Vivekananda. The next question, which pavilion of Ministry of Tourism in the virtual Bharat Parv 2021 exhibited the idea of Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat? Is it the Statue of Unity Pavilion or Incredible India Pavilion or Dekho Apna Desh Campaign Pavilion or all of the above? So Ek Bharat Shreshth Bharat was mentioned in the Statue of Unity Pavilion itself. Going through the next question, NCAVES India Forum 2021 was organized by which ministry? It was organized by option B, the Ministry of Statistics and Program Implementation. Going through the next question, who among these recent awardees of the Padma Vibhushan is a foreigner? Okay, is it option A, SP Balasubramaniam or Dr. Belle Monappa Hegde or Narinder Singh Kapani or Maulana Wahiduddin Khan? The correct answer is option C, Narinder Singh Kapani. He is an Indian American. Okay. Going through the next question, the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change, MOEF and CC has released a national action plan in New Delhi based on which marine animal? Is it on dolphin or turtle or whale or shark? It is released on the National Marine Turtle Action Plan. Okay. Going through the next question, the Davos Dialogue agenda is what? Is it option A, launch of Great Reset Initiative in the past to COVID world, or option B, our health, livelihoods and economies depend on nature, or option C, circular transition is crucial to building a resilient economy, or option D, reducing waste, stimulating business growth and creating jobs. Okay, so what is the correct answer? The correct answer is option A, launch of the Great Reset Initiative in the post-COVID world. The next question is strengthening teaching, learning and results for states. STARS project. It will receive financial support from which particular international organization? Is it option A, Asian Development Bank, or International Monetary Fund, or World Bank, or none of the above? The correct answer is option C, World Bank. Going through the next question, which veteran actor has been crowned as Indian Personality of the Year at IFI 51st closing ceremony? Is it option A, Nasiruddin Shah, or Biswajit Chatterjee, or Nana Patekar, or Pankaj Kapoor? The correct answer is option B, Biswajit Chatterjee. Going through the next question, Dr. Harshvardhan addressed the 4th edition of Future Investment Initiative Forum. So this forum was hosted at what city? Is it at Washington DC, or Geneva, or Riyadh, or Shanghai? The correct answer is option C, Riyadh. Okay. Going through the next question, who among these is the only person to be awarded the Padma Bhushan in the field of art in 2021? Is it option A, Krishna Nair Shantakumari Chitra, or Tarun Gogoi, or Chandrasekhar Kambara, or Sumitra Mahajan? The correct answer is option A, Krishna Nair Shantakumari Chitra. Union Education Minister inaugurated Agri-Food Techathon at which IIT? Okay, he has inaugurated this Agri-Food Techathon at IIT Kharagpur. Which movie has bagged the Golden Peacock Award in 51st IFI at Goa? Is it Silent Forest, or Into the Darkness, or I Never Cry, or February? The correct answer is option B, Into the Darkness. It is this particular movie that has been awarded the Golden Peacock Award for the best film, right? So that is it regarding all of these most important review questions. And going through with the question of the day, for the question of the day that I'm going to be asking, this will be provided in the part 2. So please watch part 2 also, and then we will have the question of the day. So I hope that whatever I'm discussing regarding this particular section is very, very helpful for you. If in case you have any other doubts or queries, please feel free to ask in the discussion box or even in the comment section. We are always there to help you out. Always stay safe, stay healthy, always keep smiling, and always be confident. Jai Hind.